Hello there, my name is Pankaj Mishra. You are watching News9 Live, and today we are going to discuss something which is very critical. Critical in a manner that in the days to come, if India has to secure its borders, its waters, its airspace, then obviously the technical know-how, the advancements that have to be made as far as the defense sector is concerned, it has to be spot on. Now, India's monster submarine deal and whether it will make us Atmanirbhar under the sea, this is something that needs a closer look today. Why we are talking about it? Well, because two rival consortia have submitted bids to the Defence Ministry on August 1, 2023, both vying to build 6 AIP-equipped conventional hunter-killer submarines for the Indian Navy. This will be the largest, most expensive conventional submarine acquisition program in the world. But will it prove to be the answer to India's quest for indigenous submarine technology? These are two European defense manufacturing giants seeking to win a 400 billion rupee, which is a roughly 4.8 billion US dollar order to build submarines in India as the South Asian nation looks to strengthen its navy to counter China's expanding naval presence in the Indo-Pacific region. Indian officials are currently evaluating competing bids to build 6 of the vessels in the country. Senior Indian officials are also aware of these developments, said that asking the details of this particular deal would obviously be out in the public knowledge in some time from now on. One bid is from Germany's ThyssenKrupp AG, along with the Mumbai-based Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, with the other was submitted by Spain's Navantia in partnership with private shipyard Larsen & Toubro. Indian Navy will go for the best and the largest transfer of technology that is being offered. Today, I am joined by two gentlemen here. One, a young journalist, Deepak Bhatana. Deepak. And other one, Sandeep Unnithan. Obviously, Sandeep, always a pleasure to have you here. Sandeep Unnithan, expert on defense matters, I would say. Personally, he has invested a lot of time. And I would say, Deepak, and to begin with you first, for you to be, on this young pedestal in the career, to choose a topic like this, which not just involves defense sector, but also involves the business of acquisitions, the business of how two countries would trade. What made you go for this story first?
Well, to be frank, I did find myself initially out of my depth, considering this is submarine technology. But this, this can prove to be a game changer for the Indian Navy. And this is quite frankly history in the making. It's been a privilege to work on this story.
Right. Sandeep, obviously, now this huge deal that we are talking about here, India is actually, has become, is at the center as of now. Two European companies vying to woo India, impress India, obviously, one from the private sector, one from the government sector. How do you look at this, the growing prowess and identity of India, one, and secondly, getting the best?
Absolutely, Pankaj. In fact, congratulations, Deepak. That's the story that he just scooped. He just broken the story of the fact that the two rival consortia have finally submitted their bids to the government of India, and this is, as you just mentioned, the Spanish Navantia with Larsen & Toubro and MDL with TKMS. And Deepak has been actually following this story for a couple of months and he's looking at our deficiencies in submarine building, and he kind of scooped these details, the fact that no one's really got the fact that it was actually, the bids were submitted on the 1st of August, and this was kept under wraps for reasons best known to the government. And I guess it's because, it's a submarine arm and it's a silent service.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, that's the way to look at it, definitely.
But it's really interesting because, after many decades, as Deepak has kind of put down so eloquently in the documentary, the fact that after several decades, this could be yet another chance for India to be finally self-sufficient in submarine building. And this is a capability we've been trying very hard to acquire over the last couple of decades. And this is literally the final shot at getting conventional submarine building technology.
Right.
Pankaj.
We are also joined by Captain D.K. Sharma, former spokesperson of Indian Navy. Thank you so much, Captain Sharma, for speaking to us. Obviously, we are today discussing something that mostly is kept under wraps, and for all the good reasons, I would say, because when it comes to acquisitions of such a large proportion, obviously there are several factors at play. But having said that, looking from India's perspective, what kind of fillip, what kind of boost do you think this particular acquisition will have as far as the Navy is concerned?
First of all, good afternoon, Sandeep and Deepak. I had a long interaction with Deepak yesterday, and the gentleman sitting with you, Sandeep Unithan, is the guru in all these things. So let's not undermine his knowledge on this. Yes, I can throw some light on it, but we have to go back quite a number of years, because all these plans which are now unfolding were actually cleared by the government, the CCS, in 1998. The fact that Indian Navy got the submarine arm in the late 60s, and then we had another shot at it when we got 10 boats from Russia in the late 80s going up to late 90s. We also had 4 boats from HTW, two of which were made in India in MDL, and 2 were imported from there. So the era of those boats is coming to an end. And that is what was actually visualized by the naval hierarchy in those days. And I'm talking of 95, 96, that in spite of having all these boats with us, what is the way ahead? Because every boat has got a finite life. We can't exploit the boat for infinite period. So that is the time when the government had put down and taken an approval from the government of India, and the CCS approval exists for making 24 boats over a period of 30 years. That is from 1998 to 2028. By the time these Foxtrot class boats, which came first from Russia, then the EKMs and the HGW, which we got from the Western Bloc, all these boats would have done their job, and rightly so. The Project 75 was approved, and it has, of course, now materialized with a lot of delays. You can call it a delay of almost a decade, because what boat was supposed to come in 2012 was finally handed over to us and to the Indian Navy in 2017, and now we have 5 of them. That is the Project 75 Scorpion boats. But that doesn't solve the jigsaw puzzle, because the EKMs are now getting old, the strength is reducing, their availability, and the prowess also goes down because they are old boats now. So now the plan is what you're talking about, that these 2 RFPs which have been submitted, and this is a strategic partnership model which will now go through the paces in the MOD, where it will be critically examined by a very high level committee, and it will be seen how much of indigenization could be achieved with each proposal, and how much of the QRs they are meeting with us, because there are very, very stringent QRs. One is AIP is a must. Number 2, it has to be better in stealth features vis-a-vis the Scorpions. Number 3, it has to have a capability of tube launch missiles. So these 3 changes are going to be a very, very significant changes insofar as submarine construction is concerned. And then comes the point of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that how much TOT is going to happen. Now you know it, that in a strategic partnership model, the OEM, that is the Germans and the Spanish company, the TKMS and Navantia, are coming to India, and we have our own yards. One is the private yard, L&T, and one is the DPSU. So how much of the technology will get transferred? How much hand-holding will take place? All this is yet to be seen now. But yes, it is online now. And we anticipate, and with the kind of focus given by the government and the strategic atmosphere in our geopolitical area and our area of responsibility, this is now, this has to be on a fast track, and it cannot be delayed any further.